Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jessica Rich and I am a self-wellness coach. And on this YouTube channel, we talk about all things that help you become a better version of yourself. So this is a conversation I had with someone recently about the fear of dating. And I guess I never really thought of, I kind of thought about it, but I really haven't sat and thought about it because being intentional about dating has not been a priority for me. Don't know how else to say it. I told my therapist at the beginning of 2022, like, oh yeah, I'm open to dating. I have done absolutely nothing to position myself for that. You know, you see the gifts and the memes, like, what is the guy gonna do? Come to the door? That's me. I just have been so busy with my business and then with my new job, my 9 to 5. It just created a situation where I don't go out as much as I could. And when I go out, I'm not going out to specifically look to meet a guy, right? I want to go out and try new experiences, meet new people, go to new restaurants or just new venues, try new hobbies. But it's never going to be, I'm going here to look for a guy or hope a guy will talk to me. But the fear of dating kind of came up because I was like, I haven't done much to position myself. And, as I was speaking, I said, the one thing that I am afraid of is how do you respond to a situation where you're tested? And what I mean by that is, so the last person I dated was 4 years ago, and I have been doing a lot of work on myself. I've been through therapy, I've done coaching, I've started a business, I've promoted, I've traveled, I've really poured into myself with self-love, self-care, self-worth. I'm hosting these events, I'm doing online events, I'm now doing retreats. There has been so many things that I've done, and I don't tie my identity to them specifically because I'm still Jessica Rich, but all of those things are a part of my purpose, and all of those things also a part of my journey of healing and self-love and self-care that came out of that because I was investing in myself. And one thing that is really important to me when I start dating is to meet someone who is doing the work. And I know a lot of people will ask, well, what exactly is the work? And the work is going to look different for all of us. But it's got to be someone who is already on the journey and is willing to continue the journey, right? You're going to therapy. You're open to individual therapy. You're open to couples therapy. And you're working on healing and just really pouring into yourself. Like, that's important to me. And a lot of people that I meet are not on a journey or afraid or don't think they need to be. And that's definitely not going to be an individual for me, where when I'm speaking to a lot of people, there are men and women, and there are a lot of people I also know that are on their journey and have been doing the work and have been years in or just started, but are invested in, doing the work and tapping into healing and, experiences with their parents and trying to break those generational patterns. But the fear for me comes from like, will I be consistent? And all the work that I put in, like, will I be consistent with it? Yeah, I think that for me is like, I don't want to say I don't trust myself, but I know how hard I've poured into myself and I do things for myself. But like trying to navigate through meeting someone and not being judgmental, because I think it's important to give grace because we're all on different paths and our journeys are in different. So my journey could be ahead of someone else's or somebody could just be starting, but like someone has to be like already actively doing the work and involved. But then when you've done all this work and you've been focusing on healing, and we're never completely healed, right? You don't arrive. There's no destination. You just continue to go through this process because you don't know when you'll be triggered. And I think that's something that may hold me back truly as well. In addition to just like not making time to do it, to get out and just, explore new experiences, even just be able to meet people. But I think some of it also comes from like, you done this work, girl. Like if there's a test, you're like, are you going to make it through? How are you going to do? And I need to kind of tap into that. What's the doubt like, do I journal? How can I move forward? If anybody's experienced this, like, I love to hear your thoughts in the comments, that if you've been doing the work and you've been single for a while, like, is there hesitation to get into a relationship, to meet someone, or also, like, will that person be a distraction? And I know I want to be aligned with somebody who is also aware of, like, their purpose in life, and it's not, you know, just strictly solely tied to a 9 to 5, but will it become a distraction? Will I be triggered? You know, because you really don't know until you interact with someone and something may trigger me that I'm not aware of. It's still an area for me to address. I know those things can happen. And I think there is just truly this fear of, like, how are you going to respond to that? Are you ready to respond to that? Like, are you at a place where you need that to be able to address it, because you might have to tackle some more things? And I think it's just an opportunity for me to really start to think about, because I am open. My best friend be sending me, like, places to meet people in Dallas, or in the United States, like conferences and things that you can go to. But I think I have to tap into the fact, like, are you afraid? What is the fear? Why is there this fear? You've done all this work. And I think journaling may be a good step. I think I might connect with my therapist and say, hey, I thought about this, and let's tackle this. Because I know even last year, she and I were talking about, like, is there anybody in your life? And I'm like, no. And she's like, why? So I think that that's something for me to really, really consider. Like, why? You know, and is it normal? When people have gone through this journey and they're doing the work, you know, I know there are people who want to start the journey of focusing on themselves and self-love and self-worth in relationships. And I know there's a different dynamic there, because now as you heal and change, you could identify if the person you're with is no longer a good fit for you, or do you outgrow them? But for me, it's like, I don't have anybody where that's an issue, but I just think about, will it be a distraction? Will my triggers come up? And now I need to address them. Will all the work that I've put in, like, just completely go to waste? Which I don't think that is the case, because for me, this is a lifestyle. Like, a lot of the things that I've learned about myself and pour into myself. And for those of you who have been here and subscribed for a while, you know, I'm big on self-care, taking care of myself, treating myself. And it's not all about materialistic things, but, like, Jessica is a priority. The 3 B's, Tony Gaskins, like the 3 B's is definitely there. But it's just something that I thought about in a conversation with someone. And she was like, why do you think you're so afraid? And I just started kind of rambling some things. And I'm like, you know what? I'm sure that this has crossed my mind at some way or something, but I just need to figure out if I really need to tackle it or if it's just normal. I don't know. And I think my therapist may be able to help me with that. But when you do so much work on yourself and you get to this place of peace and love and happiness and joy and excitement and okay being with yourself, even though you desire, right? Like I desire to be married. I desire to have children. And a lot of that is tied to, you know, me being able to create new patterns. So the generations after me, like, have these new generation patterns that I get to break from the prior generations. But I have to realize, like, I have to make some changes just in some things that I'm doing if that's truly what I want. And I think the first step is trying to tackle whatever is this fear and this hesitation. And if it's normal or if it's not, like, things to consider with my therapist, some journaling, but then also to me taking some steps to write out, like, how can you get outside of your comfort zone or where you are now because you've invested so much in yourself, you spend so much time with yourself or certain people. And I think that may come up with me being strategic about, like, doing certain things, which I have been doing things, but maybe doing new things that are completely outside of the box. But anyway, just thought about that because that came up. And I know that there are some single women that subscribe to this page, or some women who are not single. I'm sure there may be some men, but yeah, let me know. One, you know, have you had this thought before? 2, do you have concerns about, like, once you get in a relationship with somebody, it's going to be a distraction? I think that's a negative way to say it, but I think with anything new, especially relationships, you get that puppy love stage. Like, do you have that fear that it's going to be a distraction? And then 3, the trigger piece. Like, you know, do you think about, what if I'm triggered? Or this area that I think I'm healed in and I'm good, I'm afraid it's going to come up. Or has it come up for you? You did the work and then all of a sudden something was said or something happened, and then this trigger resurfaced for you and you thought you were done with it or it had been addressed. So curious to hear from you all a little bit about that. And also for the ladies that are single, what are you doing to get out and try new experiences? I didn't say meet someone, just get out and try new experiences. So thank you for watching my YouTube channel. I appreciate you always supporting me, and I'll see you in the next one.